new patriotic party is organizing a demonstration following unwarranted arrest.
There is no excuse for Ghana to be a poor country, and this government is proving, Atofo His Excellency the President, they are proving to everybody.
Wakoyira Kennedy Agyapong ho.
Enya sam na ba. Enya Bawumia wo yonko ni Kennedy Agyapong NPP party.
NPP amanyoko no a stage demonstration kese a omode eba ba hyehyɛ so ni nyina ne sɛ omo His Excellency John Mahama enena ban tete wo mo NPP fonti wo mo ba demonstration eno achi no the way again for buasia fu na busua esawani eseseme ena me catch quick one yebekɔ na fe no yedin komo eno na nkyɛn a onomo Kennedy Agyapong any the base and komo bebre ene free ho ba quick one ebebora ho so na yedin komo president His Excellency John Mahama and some bebre so ene free man pani asoye ba weni semfofo bi ni aboabo no a yede ni nyina ebre ayefo eno achi no ye biebie nsem nim na edimu komo baransa na no abuso ni kan kotiwe mra na na bia kasa also NPP for ba demonstration enti no mo ye demonstration na also John Mahama ne na ban tete wo mo enti na wo tete wo mo susu a na bia ntimi anyia no quick one enti we mrai.
Thank you very much. Following the series of unwarranted arrests, the new patriotic party through our party in the Sunyani East constituency is organizing a demonstration dubbed Yensru Ahunahuna Demo. We are not perturbed by this unwarranted arrest, criminalization of free speech. We are of the view that democracy is under attack. This Yensru Ahunahuna Demo will be this Wednesday, 22nd April in Sunyani, and is being organized by the Sunyani East constituency party.
Okay, I'm sure Kwakui Henry Nana Buache and then come over Bray and a Hobaran no and come on and be a quick one. Young women also mobile demonstration. Your commission demonstration by ya was a John Mahama and I one more NPP for, but quick one, young women. I had your woman me a pan. So our demonstration two political parties in there NPP ya the pa. The piano me the whole try NDC mpoa. So already a near me course so NPP amemuna dan kwakufa do amemuma. Na wo senka opposition NDC a stage demonstration. Na omo de kan sem de kira. Wo mo anye ne tena ho bui na NPP ntesa. Bibia no ma so no me demonstration. Na ale wo no mo chichi wo. So I must say, I will demonstration. I know this John Mahama and so what is such amount to me? Attorney General say, I young prosecutor near Fan 12 years. When you have some now, Branabe, you are when you know I'm far and one far Madia, and Branan Cassan Wobuso. See, I was here to Kotum, because when you know be a fast media torso. That's any silence me consent. Who you from for? One family council, and the Antonian Fountain. The Attorney General can't when Muntina so by Una. That's a whole communications officer. Our region, constituency, me ba. No be postumam penini. At the gay picture. Any other ministers. At the tag near Cochino. A whole abronya, me quatnasi. Now a judge at them. No a threatening judge. Now Emrana Besonumu. A whole I am one more teach you infante one comedy. Me ma no page so mbekum penini. And then a na post for befano a whole say Obama me tell Facebook na brand the guns I would draw near Kodia near dear na suppose for ba no mo befano no be ba no den sembe to just say media crono ekoso media de ekoso mo anu ye na CID4 yoko4 and no mama cartoon sa friends bra na beboa ye ne anya hwehwemu ne enkoche a we na huna na ne sai aya de fofra NDC a enhia bi 1 people nsa no da na the piano me beside me come as some say answer now by criticizing what is going on. The main question I was so beside say ne kwan so ana it is already some media go ya can facture me say advanced country and as on my ben mra ye adwuma wo mu na sa niema we koso a emu security officers nton sam famfre wo enti you don't just wake up so wo yo ye kire enti wo bi onim nyansa bia no
so who so mo yo ye che na bi so say ada na mo yo ye kire yi
enka o ye che de enka me council opposition party be ya na oman no adu ba bi a niam nkoyie ba bi oman ni nkoyie e bi a me kase sika se ba bi asai ba here is the case ye sika no ho ye den still now so did demonstration say ye tetew
ana one famra kwaso and what they chechi opposition panyimfo enti na make kan se kwakoi se wote se demonstration ni be koso na ye Ghana ni na opeso okoye bia bi so se na ade na mo ye demonstration yi no munyia no omunyia no abi so se ade na mo nkrofo ne ye ya post fo hunahuna wo mo wo se hunahuna demonstration na ade na mo ye ya omuhunahuna mo ne tie se na bi meme ye sentronia enkeme bisa no mina me ni ntame ko msanza na nabi na da die na mo ya wo mu hunahuna mo na matie di obeka se wotena radio so atimi di judge atam atraten no na wo ni kwa sep amra ne wudi wotimi tena radio so na wotimi tira sep krono ekoso bonifo sema ekoso obi a wowuo wonim de oku no wotini kwa se afra wo utimi tira radio so ana social media na udi etuo ne akode atoto no mo usini kwase security fra wo utimi tira so wenum nyina na mese aya aban na nepe ana wote wo no no rema na nabi num nyina ne wo mugu so mutumi kasa wo mu nyina wosanke ya fra wo mo na nsama atete ye wo akire no onko aban ko na ko mkoyi wo ma no security person ho bare ntimi nko so ene no buru no wo de ko akoye yenzuahunahuna demonstration and I know say Ghana for ye well meaning Ghanaians sabe yankopon de adwen to wo no timu a omutimi ede dwen no they will ask themselves this question before say they will join this demonstration. It will not be like yate da se abrawa ne ame ekra so if you say NPP na ye demonstration me NPP ni enti yanko obeka na anu de ekọ so won krampumpuni mantemo no there are some guys bi om say o ye de eto no om say yemra no ma iska na ebeyebie ye de eto no ye say yemra de obetimi so aka no so the main agenda om de ye demonstration na nam nchen na ekọ it means say omo pekwan bi so tie de ade na ko nyina ani omo pekwan bi so omo de be revival NPP amanyoko no the base no ase no omo de betimi de asore no omo de akanya omo de abomu enu nti na soroku festival ekọ so menchia south no enti wensu ya ade on say bono omo nya bi omo ya bi won kan ena omo ya bi wa Ashanti region enti omo de ekọ bono enti enyem won say omo firi bono omo be kọ other regions ni nyina na ye kwan omo peso omo faso na omo de kanya won party no omo say echitafo no still omo da so ho but there was so much reasonable reason na eno na your main point a wo gina so na ade demonstration and some amabobo sui ani botaye nti omode ko demonstration no ni nyina di adanse se muni hwe ka muni bibia ye eye head work pe na mpesa mokọ na mkotete mu mpom na mu se party no still Ghana for ni da so je ho ana so omoni nye ho
quick one yenkotie Sami Awukumra na so what say Honorable Kennedy and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hia the best for lunch ye na no me say Honorable Kennedy and Bawumia hia na wo mu hia ye no enkomo bi koso to de ani kan kotie me koba e beto aso
parliamentary leadership Asia the inside 2.5 weeks more by wasanso ne wakwakosra ni nuano mo ne omko wa Kensie no one on one
Kennedy ni alan ayimu nyina
wakona wakoyira Kennedy Agyapong ho kone naso akoka se menu aye to abawie intimi hia esanse mitu kwan kakra mabaso no wadaroma besem no di efie nkomo ne hwe hawe betimi ahyehye party no odi ni die ma no omodi nkomo kwa akire ne hawe betimi asa party no amaye homre subiem owie wa mananso wa
okay yamsua kwaku Sami Awuku ansa yede kan bon video ba ko aye ho adwuma but then wasanso di nkomo biem a quick one yeni nkomo na yemfanfa the base
onse se mesin esi dan ya o fa blocks no de ye adwuma ebi won mo ya no ato atwene obu anu ato atwene wo hye dan na aduru ba bia no wasa si fom no achense momfa sa abo na da wona amato atwene mfa mame ene se boa densifo ato atwene no ehu behia debi so when ye kosia so uni nyansa ba so wagimi pa because se wonim se wo behia Kennedy Agyapong wa
asebo na wa mama me koka bi kire ayi me hu nipa bi Kaka sem yes yo.
Ya na did go. Me dey basa mfra me o na metram. Because nsem bo yan kan fa nche ye huni pa bi. What you say? So nim nyansa pe obo so wagimi. Efri say Kennedy Agyapong wumpo. Ya ka party no a enya asam na ba. Enya Bawumia wo yonko ni Kennedy Agyapong NPP party.
Na the best for elanchi wo party wie. Ena Samia Ukudi sankomoi.
Oh, anu de obi nim say boapaye. Say coincidence. Say ubedi sabra wo malanchi o. Say oni ni sabra wo malanchi o. The issue is o malanchi.
Now the issue is I Samia Ukudi nkomo no. Ochire mu say oni Honorable Kennedy edi nkomo efa party ni ho kwa ombefa so ombetoto niema. That means Honorable Kennedy still or so dwene NPP oni Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na etoto niema
na say officially ye nyanti bibia mfiri Kennedy ho. Enye oni Bawumia na etoto niema. Enye oni Bawumia na etoto niema.
Die ntia Samia Ukudi kasa.
Die ntia Samia Ukudi kasa na say die ntia Bawumia ko ho nyina ne say wo hunu say wo mu di nkwase asem mine bi. Ama lanche mateo anya hwe but ye to aba no na the whole Ghana na lanche matin number over 30,000 votes. So 30,000 votes onde kwa Bawumia de wanka nya nso nya 38% no. Kontimi nya president krank at least kebe peja kwa animu kakra. Eni de ni mu odu biem te Kennedy Agyapong. Otete rumor eko eba. Si ye free bibi the base. Ghana first, the base Ghana first. Aye Kennedy Agyapong watete allegedly say yes wono na ne ho hyemuo enne party officer wo masie no NPP kura adi mfie bebrebe aba mu no wo hu nyansansi sa party office ni bi enti adie ne wo se Bawumia opeso ye president oyo kwa ku nka ne kwaso ano no se leader de omo a wo no omo ko ko ni nyina no wo ria enkugu aya pa enti wo beko mu nyina do omo bomu na afa no obi akoma ato ne yemu tinka na monto Bawumia to nka ye nanso no eye too late adenti na meka sa yes se obofo nim so obere adoati a enko huhu yie ene obi nim jonku ade beche so kwakoi se na wunim se Kennedy Agyapong wo behia wo amotimi abo ma 2028 wotimi awini a kwa makoka ni tiniwa yes obetwo na hu ntintini antimi anya ukodura magina social media anwunu papa ye ni natem kwa antimi antna wo ama abronye ana no ese mesin for help ya ese ye omde temota wantimi antna ohia TV so antwo papa ya da pamfo omama mfa na bodam sam ni jimi sam nyina amfa ama no ka wotuwi kwa antimi anya daje antna ho are wo no atachia a Kennedy Agyapong afidi ne pan abua ne pan antimi anyina wa anka bronsam amfa ne tira yakobie so amfa ni natam the writer all those people I have mentioned just a few no a wo mudi Kennedy Agyapong atam nyina no ne the beneficiary no aya wo Bawumia wo na benefit ye enya mu mfaso edi firi aba omokoto ye mu and they were all in support of wo Bawumia wa agenda it is possible it is so no nim nyansa and come on the satem no wo uchimi and na wo sanka ofre sankrofo we nyina ye kana na wo motena sese aya bato ne ekọ aya mpipia manyukuo no mu ne ekoto aba enti ni kwa se wutonko na woda na odi nsemhunu ewo muomu ani na ne yenye campaign no mo ani ada ho enya temdidie enya anotwa enya personal attack ne mo ko akoboda wuro na kire de me Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia me ba metumi aye but Bawumia trasidi eno hwe kom eno ma Bawumia Kennedy atamfo kwan amu ye ne o betumi aye nyina na no nenei sekan ya wo mo twenye no awurade mu o di twitwa wo mo ho no
na I Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, can he convince Honorable Kennedy Agyapong to stay in NPP?
Do you know something? For the betterment of Kennedy Agyapong, ain't no me can't Kennedy say ompene wananim but nitirimu ompene. Why am I saying this? Yampo. There is no political party between taking over NPP ni NDC or Ghana animal. And it's all political ambition be. So person obey president there. Then you have to align yourself with these big two political parties. Then you involve yourself. I will want more into abandon everything they are doing. So when you have any trimophobia, just keep it here. Dear Kennedy Bayanie, Mate, no, don't involve yourself too much. I want to campaign because the damage has already been caused. What do what and then Kennedy Bano be born to know the achram me. Some men go to Bamfama Dr. Agyapong Bawumia. Some babies and say, now, but I'm for a copy of Timu. What about them now? They can say, Anna. And then about them need you to be convincing some go to Bamfama Bawumia. And harm no has already been caused. And to be bien one more betting and the Africa, your friends, Kennedy Agyapong more Bawumia betting your boy that because of my strap upon the re. But for the future, Antino, the base no, they be at the end, Sanyana dia on the one penny when him. But more on penny trim, and it will be very difficult. Said Dr. Agyapong Bawumia betting me a convince Kennedy Agyapong and me minimum no. Because with him, Obekai, or your interview be, I think that's some by FM. I'm more kind. So, on the near Uncle Sono, Warren Koswa, Nakosuria, or no, obey then what me a campaign or the Abwa party. Because a lady who dinner tem, but on why ye and go bet me a respond the pa. Nanswayeti, or no obit or rabbit says Samira Bawumia to me now could draw Eddie Natam. And then a sober president had over benefit of Samira Bawumia, a Sukonoma, et me the Kennedy Agyapong, intended no better no convince Kennedy Agyapong, or convince Kennedy Agyapong any Pabaco, Tieniepa, or any Pabaco. But I'm telling you, there are some thousand supporters of Kennedy Agyapong, no matter the decision Kennedy Agyapong will take, they will never vote for NPP. Because someone destroy one more personal person, no, it be bien one more by a bay or mufabimu. Until near canono, you say, a da ubertu bo, a dear church, you frano, yes, I don't know, Puffin Bissi.
Quick one. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia akasa. Baran sana no. A+ a din komobi. Yenkutie san komonemra. Sansa honorable Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kasa no. Abbas Nuruddin NDC ni wababa reply no ama chese bomba watu tuoma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ni NPP no mekram yema seme baransa no yenyi A+ yeni mfiri omra yakoba yebeto aso
amounts our confidence so betim the edro
then say ono friends John Mahama on Grantro na say obeka assembly and I was so excited or say on to me cancer galam say nkrofo ni yebi. It takes a lot of courage to say that. So for a president to say that, me mean to me Kasa Microphone say, yeah, we party way for kwa now omudo mochi eja omo abano way for kwa. It takes a lot for a president to be that truthful. Okay? Obi enu oto abama NDC just because onim say Ghana ebe dane heaven. Obi enu oto abama NDC because or expect say Ghana better than obi oto abama NDC bia bebre na no omo to aba no because of one obi hu ehi and two omo expect say at least a bit me aye honest kakra to amanipa no why na say onim say John Mahama be president yakra say CD e be do be na nka plan no we didn't even know about this. We didn't obi no expect say CD be stabilize it. Could be so be say CD stabilize no just for a short period for a brief period and solve a problem baby. John Mahama then why yenti me wo hope CD is stabilizing even if it is for a brief period. Hasn't it solved a lot of problems? Now say for brief period that 1 minute man for no omo ye brief period no omo want for obi to me brief period to me want for 3 what I say brief period to me yield the positive results. And John Mahama has done extremely well, and he has given us hope. Adia baku amichi ene se de biaba nsesa ene omani ye broko omani sikana son sa de no na yesidi ni ye ye be kasa sa na wusi wo kro ni ye usika ni ye ube don investors aba se me fam sika mbra bibia enye no na se aban mu for ken John Mahama nkasa ken bi yes but ono all can na o ye adwuma kan see the more mistake and see the dollar no be ko 5 and yet just talk or yeah into no so you investor no do sika ba ha you know that the currency is stable and it is strong. What I say in this country it got to a time people were taxing, the government was taxing faith and belief. To build a country we had to tax belief and faith. They believed that Arsenal was called Chelsea was taxable.
okay betting.
Of course. Say yes be like me gidi say boy e ko boy me hwem pa Chelsea be Arsenal aban say man bi. And yes be we di awie o. Wudi o wendi o. Wo twa nkwa dia magidi. Because we scan we upload this scan.
The tax was on the winnings.
But we upload this scan. Nia, you upload this scan. Scanner would
what winner ye betua.
Now we won't bet
10%.
Won't bet.
Yes, mean trap bas sanity.
Na woni wonka your pon amechechi wonka bet sika no be upload wo app no so wonu sika no to won na se won fe wonka bet no person dey talk credit cry yet e levy
na betting time
na cry yet abanye ti bi sa de no wo upload say wo dey kwa bet na bi o wasa san wa okay me nkra bet person me send ma obi abanye se ma me bi it is can ko du won de abanye ba gi bi it member e live in mu me try the kind of money economy bibia ye ko du ye for this government to be able to come here. There is no excuse for Ghana to be a poor country, and this government is proving. Atoforsen, Dr. Siama, His Excellency the President, they are proving to everybody every day. They prove to everybody that it can be done. They are laying a foundation for others to come and build on. John Mahama has shown clearly that we don't have. Okay, let me ask you a question. Say Elon Musk by Ghana. No better gold mine on 2 gold no crowd only send the we are the net worth be appreciating. Elon Musk can come here buy a gold mine. Even before he mines the gold, his net worth will appreciate just for buying the gold mine. And Ghana has all the gold, so why are we poor? Somebody can just come and buy a gold mine, not mine the gold, but his net worth will appreciate. And you have all the gold and you are poor. Why? Ghana must not be a poor country. And you see the difficulty, and they say, so we are the papa, and so that is the only area where they will always attack. International median fees under so much attack because that is what will build Ghana. We have to build Ghana with our own gold. Our gold has built many countries. And it is time we build our country with our own gold. And gold board is one of the most sensible things that any human being has done. Bawumia was doing gold for oil. That was the idea. He also had an idea, but it was not structured in this way. So they know that the gold will work for us. The whole attack is on gold board because the gold board succeedia omumba power. Sana tie.
That's it. You don't lose power just because you can be very successful and still lose power. You know that.
No.
You've been around for a long time.
Success was also very successful.
Until you can do nyoma or man for be brain and still lose power.
A man for be brain what percentage? Why is there be brain any when you are losing? It's not possible. Once you lose power, we are the man for be brain any jong.
Okay, I'm sure. Call me A+. Wakasa. I see your John Mahama baso. One lamba CMP before us.
I dare come the pay A+ asem no. On say asem no kure no wo ka yanto sabi. One more pentro no na ho be ye wo mo hi. But one kasa na wo ka no ko tumi say wo wiye say o ya de bie na ho atowo na wo ye okay pa. Asem akwa me A+ kan. Pepe obie ni wa no okoto aba ma John Mahama no onim say Ghana be heavy ho. Kwaku me sapa sene wo mitrim say me ko to ama John Mahama no na sidi ni betimi aba 11 tana nya no koreda me sene minim pa sa me ko to ama John Mahama no petrol ni diesel no e be free 25 23 no na etimi aba bedru 9 cedi amen na asa ko suri kura eye 14 ni 15 na koku na ya tro unim die ntam de to aba ma John Mahama keta ahye no ane national cathedral titiri na me pese me nya president oba onya hwe keke na mo obejai san krasesem no aya national cathedral na eda wo no obejai me kro de me butan ne san na me president o de be pick farm because enne sigba bia sika wo pan so ne pick farm and said ye hosi so no se yakase de ye pick farm na employee youth no a sika be nya de free mo e be import no nya sam ti na me president a oba de obe nyina ne se obejai san krasedan no esie ebiem mampanyina oba sakata ahye no matu atwa no atimi aboa match say ya te wo mo anu mo because na akoso a including asofo no enti na ya me ya se ora na se minya nte asofo ne nka no na me papa ba ko no ni din ye mienu no wo to okotie na ko se masa jai uni yi bia ye nto aso enti na se da so wo mo to aso kwaku enti me bota ye na no but na me nim say anya hwe ne John Mahama ba see the 17 na wo no o maybe meka ho obe maintain Petro 23 and 22 no and 17 no obe maintain amfa bi meka ho enti na emom no obe na maintain saa enti se wotie nchinywaso na ekoso wo amonten na ma na ba otimete ne ema so ba kra so na be ko no opie ni gidie eni obie no ye na dwen saa enti saa die we na mampanyi dia ba ne ye plus ade ma ye ni anya ne saa no timi ye mwanwa sesi di na bedru die drei Petro bedru die duro and niema is stable for the past 1.5 almost 1.5 years near na yen tutu niema mu na niema da so gina die gina no I'm even surprised and what yasema waka or say Ghana you need any excuse to be poor kwaku I'm telling you and niema the kind of resource are you no say America nom and developed countries are do ni bienu Dubai nom enya sa resources ayen yewe ade ka wonom petro ho a kwaku kamekana nka emwan se wo machichiri krofofro wo wiem a wo mutim ne yete ya na wo dwunso gu yeso but eye chimie ani leaders an adwini nyansa ni won mutirimuo ani pesaminkuminya ani apame ho nya me ho ntam krono enti na amo men ya bonyenya 69 years ye ni train kwan ye free kuma se e konkran ye no enti anei so already a papa ba ye John Mahama ya kwaku eye plus sikana ye stable ameriasi nyina nim sa ye stable aniema da so gina ne naso aniema ekoyi edemaye ti sa wode toto NPP adia na wono bebo ye 8 years no and within this first 1.5 years ya John Mahama nya nuye mpo awayo na akwaku ye te heaven anesa ye te heaven pa and A plus nsam na wo ka no kwaku sa wotrese na ye wadwen se wo the political lens ne beto nchen na wo hwa obehu se no kre ai ana sidi ba fam no ede na ye wo kan sem bi wo ha wo be fa no se esre but I'm telling you ye obi a wo se wo ba so obetimi afo ba no more than 5 hours enso sabia ko sabia kronto nya sa media wo twa obi mpoa na so ntumi enya awo emfama but obi just 1 seconds oba no nyeme onyeme ye no wo ntafo enti enye dodo a wo bayo na we di sidi na ba ye no tempera enche besa akoyi eno no wo chema wo bisa say samreti ya kakra we within 1 year no emfa so businessmen fo anya no go and ask them so mbeye no kwandifo no makanom de akere wa menum ye no kra emfa so anya no kona kore kwaku senye sika sama yenya nyansafo enne wo no mutimi toto ne mayie no mo hye wo mo so na fiscal discipline na wo na kwaku I am telling you kaneke beto peto na 25 cedis said wo mo kano but enne yenya aban bia wotumi ye niema ahokere ban kwa wasa yi bi de afiri so still we are moving forward aye ko anim and kwakwen so wotras na oti A plus nsemi nyina di kokokosia na sabi uyi obi a wonim nyansa bo nsa mpa wo kanyansa sep wo se nyina yesomu na ye wo mpa bo bia for now no ye de time mpanyina chie na ye bom mpa ye ni ye de ko attorney general office tienie pa ho ne hiame no ye bom mpa ye ni ye de ko attorney general office na say mampanyin so na bia wo tietia ne ma bi so a ono so ni beba no so no mo gem na mra na hyase na ye adwuma gidigidi ne wo mo wiwe skadi nyina no ye de wo makọ ma mampanyin amampaibo ani asofo ani kristoso mo nwurahura no asofo mo di nsemhunu wo national cathedral no nyina wo mo no mo da no ni nyina board of trustees ni nyina yemfo mo nyina nseni anim ne yemisa wo mo kosa sentia o mo gi over 93 million Ghana cedis na amana kaka ne mponchani dwar mo di jayen
quick one Yonko Nafeno Yentie Energy Ministry Womu PRO and Sama Ode Atuga Afa Dumso Ekoso Nanseina Wachechen Semu Bebre Achemse Bibiansi ye Shensuma ye Dumso Biani ho na Yankoni Yentie Dientia Ore Sansam no Atuga
Ye wo Dumso Mwana
Oh Dabi Yeni Dumso dia normally no say your deficit in generation and what we call load shedding, and then load shedding what it mean is that obeche power no because it's limited, and then you distribute it for everyone to get part. But that is not what it is. As we speak, your generation capacity, the demand does not outstrip supply. Let's just say, as of now, peak demand about 4,300 megawatts. What we produce and what we generate, far exceeds that. We don't have any issue with generation. About the transmission side as well, we don't have any challenges. Robust, and also we recognize that there are few areas that we have to do some major work, especially over the eastern corridor side, parts of Volta, Uti, Savannah, we have to make sure that we have dedicated lines and improve transmission lines. Those areas, over the years, someone should have dedicated lines. Sometimes you get complaints from the Volta, Uti, Savannah regions. Say voltage no form, and that's what government is working on. The problem we have has to do with the distribution side. Largely, we all agree. Say we've had stability in power supply. Generally, there are lots of areas. Oka and now Miami, Oka, even these outages they cannot even relate because Omola is so. But also, so there are certain specific areas about ministry attention that you notice those areas, they get what we call outages. Outages, there are a number of reasons in here. Amanisi. Minister commission some investigations. Na reports about minister. So across the country, we know specifically what the issues are. And then the ministry is addressing it. Okay, one of the main issues has to do with obsolete equipment and I say aging infrastructure across the distribution side, whether from ECG and I say NetCo. Over the years, your concentration has been on increase in generation and then transmission, but the needed investment to match the distribution side. Unfortunately, that had not been the case. A lot of areas they've grown beyond what the capacity of the infrastructure there to supply the areas. An area like Lashibi supplies Sakomono, any part of Spring Texas and a part of Nunga. 10 years ago, the buildings there, the infrastructure there, homes on today you see something else. In there you are looking at mansions, you are looking at duplexes, commercial buildings, BAC apartment, and then demand has grown. We share an area like East Legal Hills. Just 5 years ago, only East Legal Hills, you are testing the fact that the place was barely developed, and the entire East Legal Hills, you see it has become a prime area. Unfortunately, the way and manner we should have planned, and then we'll also increase the capacity of the infrastructure. That is not what it is. We should be able to tell Lashibi, power transformer, we installed it 22 years ago. 22 years ago, what was the demand in the area? What was the population in the area? Today, what is the demand? What is the population? Which areas, Semika, Airport Hills, East Legal Hills, more power distribution, transformer, was installed about 15 years ago. But if you see the rapid development, that will tell you that pressure also. What will happen is that once there's pressure on the system, will be trips because transformers, they are overloaded, the cables are old, the machines are obsolete. And so we've identified those areas, and then we're doing some work as a ministry together with ECG and NetCo to be able to address all those challenges. And see, the pockets of areas are problems or no. Largely, these are the causes, and the government is committed to addressing that.
Well, Roxanne, the difficulty here is that maybe na a unity bank say na be mukasa mafo no mabeka and you say yes monfa timetable bana I say Ghanaians are prepared for that transparent and honest conversation because I said yesterday in Takrady, may specific about rich and other areas, and the issue was doom so, and okoko Facebook crack your post or Google on ma na ahonte. In fact, and now payment BM show na dem kan me ankasa for a very maybe some almost 2 years of faith and from 10 p.m. up to 3 a.m. virtually I had to just then switch off everything in the house because about 1 second now I train the next bed 20 seconds now I doom now I ba now I doom now I ba so then eventually I had to put everything off until like 5 a.m. Me say that stability no and other areas Tantra Hill and all those some of these things no about and will be painting na yemu dey say gram say no cry na mo catch and say mo dey BBC into that agitation and anxiety no and no na ama ye hu dey say the because it's becoming quite unusual. And what do you tell us? How do you reinforce that trust? And I said, as there is no cause for alarm at this point.
My main assurance, and for us as a ministry and government, we intend to be as transparent as we can when it comes to this sector. One thing that I always see, the people of Ghana are reasonable people. Say, if you are transparent, now you open up, you tell them the truth, you carry the people along, the people will appreciate where you find yourself and you'll be able to deal with it. For all issue I will say, all over the world, the power generation, sometimes the systems will develop a fault or trip. And for your case, I am sure that it was a fault, which was a one-off fault. Like you mentioned, for 2 years you've had stability. And then from 5 a.m. After I put it off, the system has been very stable. So those will be one-offs. Those challenges, you cannot do away with it. Even machines, how easy was to do, from time to time, they will break down or they will develop a fault and then it has to be dealt with. And see, those ones, we cannot take that out. What we'll do as a government and what we've done is that we've increased the maintenance teams for ECG and NETCO. For the pay immediately, what we'll do is that we'll go and then respond and then deal with it. What I will encourage people, they say, once you develop a fault, and that's what lies in demand, reach out to ECG or any ECG's office, any of ECG's portals, communication, and complain. Some people assume, say, life is doomed to pay. They say load shedding. I can tell you on authority that we are not shedding a load, not 1 megabyte of 1 megawatt of load, and I am shedding. When we came into office, we're shedding load of 700 megawatt. That is what we met in December 2024. But since that time, we've overturned the story, and for 12 months, there's been zero load shedding. That will be the assurance that I will give. For areas, ECG, there are two things. Mm-hmm. Your planned maintenance and your unplanned maintenance. Mm-hmm. Planned maintenance, of course, once they are machines, from time to time, you have to maintain them. And then ECG announcement, just like what we are doing under the transformer upgrade and replacement exercise. Area, announcement, we publish if we need to put up the lights on the mama, we publish that. We will go around on social media, traditional media, to let people know, say, this area, you are doing some work. ECG Facebook page here, would be ECG or website, would be ECG Power App, X, all of it. Mm-hmm. You see these publications there. Those are planned. For the unplanned ones, as I mentioned earlier, for the example is yours. When the machine trips, that one, I won't be able to tell that this is what will happen. But the most important thing is the response rate, and that is what will increase. And we'll encourage people. Say, let's reach out. Share, and on Facebook, I don't want to mention the person's name. Uh-huh. For about 3 days, he had been writing on Facebook every day. We do like to do so. So personally, I reached out to the person, and I told him that we don't have any issue with generational. And I'll let the team come and check, and then we'll see what the issue is. Mm-hmm. He said, okay. To me, frame. I've gone through the area, I've traced the line. Mm-hmm. We do baby, I say cable not here the phone. Meanwhile, he had been complaining for days, there's load shedding. And so I told him that, as we said, we are not shedding load. So we asked the team to go, we fixed it. And if you go to his wall today, he has even mentioned us, thanking us that we today is sleeping in light because of this. These are what we want to draw people's attention to say. Don't assume that we are shedding load into the life in Dumpe. Those are likely going to be peculiar to those areas. And then once you let us know, we'll let them come. Or be our complaining to us. Say in the light you do, whether Facebook or whichever platform. 98% of the people, when we go, we solve the problem. They are simple, easy problems, and then we solve it. Where there are genuine issues, for example, in the area, we have to change the transformer. We tell the people that this area, your transformer is overload. And once you have a transformer overload, it will trip. And if it trips, your lights will go off. And you see, those are some of the areas, because some of the areas, because the transformer is overloaded, they have to manage the load there. Because it I want you careful, a bit blow. A blower, the process and even the time to even procure transformer may be a challenge or maybe difficult. Rather you be cautious and then try and then take precautions to make sure that you manage it. So I want to assure people, the people of Ghana, one, we will be very transparent and honest. This is not a political conversation. This is not to pretend that there are no issues. We've diagnosed the issues. The issue has to do with challenges in the distribution sector. These are years of neglect, years of underinvestment, years of your priority, you're placing it properly. For example, you have over 2,000 containers and then you don't even have a single transformer in there. Meanwhile, the critical components ECG needs are transformers. But we are prepared to fix that, deal with those problems to ensure, the pocket of areas that any of those issues will be dealt with. And then, about a month ago, they were complaining about Omolite. Since we did the transformer upgrade, those complaints, majority is gone. And then we don't hear people from that area complaining again. It's the same with Maijo. It's the same with part of Adenta. And it's the same with Lashibia Irina and Senya. And so we roll out the program. We're installing 3,000 transformers across the country. In the northern area, we're installing 500. In the southern side, we're doing 2,500 distribution transformers. We're upgrading substations. We're upgrading cables. We have a program we've put in place. It's a program, and the emergency was 0 to 3 months to deal with these pockets of outages we're experiencing across certain areas. And then we'll do 3 to 6 months. We'll move to change of poles, and then up to 18 months, we'll move beyond the capacities we have to increase those capacity to build capacity to withstand the growth so that some of these issues that we see will be getting over past.
All right. Richmond, Roxanne, that's about my co-host, episode Semba Kunafi, Adawati Nafi Wako.
Rich, what are my transformers? Yeah, Modiabana, Mosa Mashasi, fixed no, Moshasi, everything.
But also,
transformers na abana mampaniche say mashasi fixe intino say obi experience dum so woni area juma moye no mashasi ebreben
you started your announcement end of March this is the challenge we've noticed, and then this is what we'll be rolling out at the end of March. Started we've done for major ones. There were 2 major types of transformers. There were the distributing ones. One area also small ones and more poles. And there were the major ones and more substation. We only a power transformers. They started power transformers at that time. And that's for the distribution ones. We roll it out every time.
The NTP maybe sana saye or mampania sema or can say dum so and I say and kania dundum na ye experience no enye dum so na juma moye transformers for from Modiaba no. Because from January by ya complaining can you dundum it is happening na no se na enye dum so na ye den because transformers in match ya na mo be sha sia fixe it is ye de kan sama na match mu de ya mo kan se hu so kan ye dum a enye dum so juma moye it bra na mo fixe transformers na kan ye ni dundum na ye den.
I think I answered that question, that the problem persists, and it's a problem that we will not run away from. As we speak, areas be or specific areas, we call Cayman, we call Danfa, parts of Oyarifa, your area be a 4 is didn't get here. those people continue to experience trips and outages because of transformer overloads. Until we get to that area and we change our transformers, those issues from time to time, almost likely do about 5 minutes now. So sometimes it will be there for consistently for hours when your issue be, but then sometimes evening time, especially the peak time, then it goes off. That is the problem. See, the problem is what we've identified. That is the transformer overloads, transformer damage, transformers, obsolete materials across the country. Or certain parts of the area, certain areas. That is the problem. And what we are doing is to fix the issue.
And the rates, the assurance then is some fix it transformers ni via Kania enundum be mana.
Meaning you fix it transformer now, you have stable supply of power. Those transformer overloads now are your primary cause, no. Those ones will become a thing of the past. As for first electricity production, once you are using electricity and are using machines, meaning all over the world, sometimes machines those will be peculiar issues. And as a photo, Papa say, we get trips because of transformer overloads. Once we change and upgrade the transformers to higher capacity transformers, we don't expect the outage to go. When some amount of specific examples, say Achimota used to complain a lot. You can ask the people who are there. The complaints have reduced drastically. Those who become what they will experience will be very minor faults. Once in a while, just as any machine develops a fault and our trips, be a fuse and anything, it goes off and they will respond to it.
Rich